court positioning is going to do the world of good for you, because it means you don't have to move as far for each ball. And if you don't have to move as far, then you can get set and get that balanced position. If you actually stay on the baseline regardless of who's on the other side, you're actually narrowing down the angles and you don't have as far to go to hit those shots, the wider ones. So you'd be better off staying on the baseline and accepting that some of these are going to be coming up fast, but you've got good hands, you've got a good eye on the ball. Just get that racket on the ball and put it back. If you stand too far back behind the baseline, you're opening up the angles and then you've got further to move, which isn't your forte. Your strength is having a good eye and good feel on the racket. Because sometimes you have to take that ball on the half volley, you need to be able to get your racket back early so you can pick it up off the ground. We never want to take the racket back when it's bouncing. You'll always be late. And if you play against a faster, a bigger hitter, you're definitely going to be late. And then you're going to be losing the topspin because you're up here when the ball's coming up at you. You haven't got time to drop the racket and you tend to go straight through, which often imparts a bit of backspin on the ball, and then the ball can go anywhere. So if we can, we always want to try and train ourselves into dropping, getting that racket back as soon as we can. And then we've always got time to drop the racket down and come up and get the top spin, which we need to keep consistency in our game. Okay, so racket back early, work on your positioning right in the corner of the court. Okay, so you've got less room to cover on the center, which is fine. Your partner will pick up the slack, but you can make sure that you're covering your portion really well. The ones that are coming on the inside there, bearing in mind that you're not always playing against massive serves, you've got an opportunity to attack here and win the point straight away. Go for the volleyer, go for the passing shot down the line, because at least if you are late on your forehand, it's going to still come back in cross court. If you're aiming with your forehand on the inside, on the deuce side, and you aim to go back cross court, if you're late on that ball, it's going to be going way wide. So it's not a very forgiving shot. Yeah, the down the line shot's going to be much more forgiving. Being a lefty, you're up against their backhand volley down the passing shot on the ad side. So you've really got a weapon there to take them on. So you've got that forehand into the backhand there. This is going to be your winning shot. Every time they hit to your forehand, you're looking to take on the volleyer with that big forehand straight into the backhand volley. If you can lob the volleyer on the deuce side, you can switch them onto their backhand. The volleyer comes over here, he's on his backhand. Opposition of the baseline's gone over here and they're on their backhand out wide. So all of a sudden you've got a really advantageous position where you've taken them off their strengths. Most of the shots in doubles are going to be going out wide to your backhand because it's just lower risk to be going out wide on both sides. But occasionally you'll get one to the forehand and that's your attacking shot. Okay, so the volleyer is standing here on your return. They're always expecting it cross. They're thinking, oh, I've got my forehand on the inside, I might try and intercept this one. And on that forehand, you're taking it straight down the line here to their backhand. Now the backhand volley is a more difficult volley than the forehand. They have to get their shoulders turned completely. Now you have to get a lot of topspin because you're going over the high part of the net. The court is shorter down the line than it is cross court. So you have to get that ball up and bring it down. And you're going to do that by maintaining a nice loose grip, a nice loose wrist, and that body rotation to get more topspin on the shot. Okay, and this is something technically that you don't often do really well because you hit with your arm quite a lot. I want you to try and get loads of body rotation on this forehand to bring it down the line. Okay, so you've got the two returns of serves planned out now. You've got your backhand cross court, you've got your forehand down the line with more topspin. Yeah, and you don't want to tell too many people about your tactic because otherwise they'll know where it's going. And if you don't tell them, they won't figure it out. If they figure it out, then just keep them neutral by 1 in every 7 or 8 shots. Just throw it in the other direction. And then you just keep them not knowing. And one in every so many is going to go the other direction because you'll be late on the ball. And as we said, if you're late on this, if you're late on the cross court, it'll go down the line. If you're late on the down the line, it'll go cross court. You really have to let go of the shot. If you loosen up and just rotate, you think, well, that's just going to go anywhere. But it's actually the one where you're tight and you're pushing it. That's the one that goes anywhere, because you're not getting the top spin on it to harness the ball. So you've kind of got to let go of the shot and really loosen up and hit through it to actually get the accuracy and the consistency you want. It's counterintuitive when you get into a match and you tighten up. You're trying to put it in, but it does the opposite. You will be a little bit further in on that side, just because you've got your forehand on this side, you've got more reach. Your backhand, you've got less reach, so you need to cover a little bit better. It's only one step though. So on that side, you're right in the corner. On this side, just stand on the other tram line. You don't want to be trying to pass down the line against the volleyer's forehand. But if you go cross court with your forehand, if you're late on the shot, it's still got to go in down the line. It's really safe to take that forehand back cross court. It's the backhand on the inside for the return of serve. Now I have the same problem on my backhand. Because it's coming down the middle to my backhand, I haven't got the angle to play with. You know, the ball wants to go back in the same direction it came from. If I came from over here, I can play with loads of angle, cross, it's really open the court. It's much easier hitting the backhand on the other side for me, because I can hit that angle. But in this position here, very difficult. Now you've got one big advantage open to you being a lefty over there, and that's the slice this way, because your slice will naturally curl and go away from the opponent's backhand. Okay, so on this particular shot, I want you to try and put in a short angled slice. Your opponent's going to be running in and taking this with a backhand chip, nice and low. As long as you can keep it nice and low, then there's nothing they can really do with this shot. Your partner's covering the down the line shot with their forehand volley. And if they get it back, they're chipping it up, you've got another shot, which you can probably approach on. You're just going to dink it. Yeah, you've got to relax. You're forcing it, and you've got to really feel it. Out in front, take a step after the shot. Being a lefty, you've got that's your advantage there. That slice curls away on that side, and you can keep it low. On the inside shots, you've got unusual shots. You've got inside forehand down the line. Yeah, and on this side, we're working on that short slice wide. Because if we try and hit the inside shot down the line on this side, even though it's a safe shot, you're up against a volleyer on their forehand, because they're not even looking at intercepting on this side. With that backhand on the inside, they haven't got the reach to intercept, so all they're doing is they're guarding this line. You go for that, you're going to get pummeled. So you've got to keep it cross on that side. On that side, hammer them down the line with your big forehand.